arguably one of the most influential figures in global politics during the latter half of the 20th century and beyond. Muammar Gaddafi, the leader of Libya, rose to power in 1969 and maintained control over Libya for 42 years. Gaddafi's unique and unpredictable style on the world stage defied easy characterization, with terms like maverick or eccentric falling short. His rule took him from being a revolutionary hero to an international outcast, then to a valued strategic partner, and back to an outcast. During his lengthy reign, Gaddafi oversaw the transformation of Libya. He elevated living standards in Africa and significantly improved the country's infrastructure. However, his rule was marred by human rights abuses, public executions, and a harsh suppression of dissent. His death in October 2011, amid the Arab Spring protests, was seen by many as a victory for democracy, similar to the removal of Hosni Mubarak in Egypt. Muammar Gaddafi was born in 1942 into a Bedouin family in the Libyan desert. His early years were shaped by stories of the Libyan struggle against Italian colonizers, as his family belonged to the Qataffa tribe, which had been exiled from eastern Libya. After World War II, Libya was controlled by France and the United Kingdom. King Idris I ruled the country and maintained close ties with Western powers, including hosting a US airbase. Gaddafi's upbringing was in a nomadic Bedouin family that traded livestock and grew crops. His early education was influenced by religious teachings from the Quran, which he would later use to support his political ideology. Gaddafi's interest in politics and revolutionary ideas began at a young age when he organized protests against various global issues while in school. At 17, he started dreaming of leading a revolution in Libya. He attended the military academy, where he formed the Free Unionist Officers, a group dedicated to the goal of Arab unity. Gaddafi graduated in 1966 and received training in the UK but did not complete a degree. By the late 1960s, resentment was growing in Libya against King Idris I's government, which was seen as corrupt and favoring Western interests. Gaddafi and fellow officers planned a coup, which was finally executed on September 1, 1969, while King Idris was abroad. The monarchy was abolished, and the Libyan Arab Republic was proclaimed. Gaddafi and his supporters took control without causing any casualties. Gaddafi initiated various reforms, including nationalizing foreign oil interests, expelling foreigners, and challenging the terms of oil contracts to benefit Libya. His bold actions led to improved revenue from Libya's oil production. This marked the beginning of the Arab petroleum boom. However, Gaddafi's actions also strained relations with Western nations, leading to tensions and scenarios being considered by Britain and the United States to counter his anti-imperialist regime. While advocating for a socialist form of governance and economics, Gaddafi's new government rejected communism primarily due to its atheistic roots. Gaddafi implemented a strict form of Arab socialism, aligning the legal system with Sharia law and banning alcohol, prostitution, nightclubs, and Christian churches. Similar to other African leaders like Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, and Kenneth Kaunda, Gaddafi devoted significant effort to develop a unique societal vision outlined in 3 volumes known as the Green Book, based on Islam and called the Third Universal Theory. This theory aimed to offer an alternative to capitalism and atheistic communism, making the Green Book required reading in Libyan schools. Under Gaddafi's rule, Libya, or the Great Socialist People's Libyan Arab Jamahiriya, experienced substantial progress in education, health, housing, public works, and subsidies for electricity and basic foodstuffs. This led to significant improvements in living conditions, turning Libya from one of Africa's poorest nations into a leader in human development by 2011. However, some Libyans criticized the quality of education and healthcare, citing bureaucratic challenges. Gaddafi also initiated the Great Man-Made River Project to provide water to the entire country, which aimed to fulfill Millennium Development Goals. Nonetheless, Gaddafi's leadership faced domestic challenges, including human rights violations, arrests of political opponents, and internal power struggles. Gaddafi's political journey included advocating for Arab and Islamic unity, supporting various international movements and organizations, and clashing with Western powers, leading to sanctions and conflicts. Ultimately, his regime became isolated, partly due to economic pressures and policy changes. The Arab Spring led to protests and a civil war in Libya, prompting international intervention. Gaddafi's rule crumbled, and he was captured and killed in 2011. Subsequently, Libya struggled with instability, highlighting the complex legacy of Muammar Gaddafi.